Welcome back to Feeding Power Season 3 finale. Today, Joanna and I are going to go over all of the guests, what we've changed in our lives, and we just want to share as much as value with everybody, our guests, the people that came to the podcast. We want to thank you, EPM, everyone who was on the podcast for making all this content to feed power to other people. So, Joanna, let's get this fucking party started.
That's right. Welcome back. Welcome back to Season 3 finale. Today, we're super excited to talk to you about what happened through the whole season, new changes that happened to Luis, to me, to the team, and everyone else that was part of this Season 3. So, let's start off with any changes that we know by now or anything you want to share that happened for you in Season 3.
Yeah, so I mean, there's there's a lot of things that have changed. I mean, I'll start off with one of the guests, Linda and Christian. So I actually they motivated me kind of to getting back into like mental health, my physical health. So that's something that I've been working on. Another change that I did in my business was obviously Joanna. The most important thing is I was able to move my brokerage. So we actually just left Signature Premier Properties. We left on a good note. And now we are officially with EXP. We do have our own like share space that we work. So Team Elite has their own space. Everybody is happy. So that's the most important thing. For me, that's what it's about, right? So that's one of the biggest changes we made this time. What about you, Joanna?
Well, just to elaborate a little bit with your changes, that's big. You made the change, the whole team supported you. You took the whole team with you, and you are now with EXP. Mm-hmm. You have, a workplace that you built on your own just for other things and agents to come in there and work. So I think that's really exciting. Yeah. But at the same time, what made you make that change into a different broker?
Yeah, I mean, change is always good, right? So there's never a bad change. You always have to make change. So for me, I think it had nothing to do with the company that I'm at. I appreciate my broker, Kathy, my main broker, Joe. They were great people. But for me, it's when I get to a dead end and there's nothing that, is motivating me or helping me grow, then I feel like I have to do something about it, right? Correct. So that's the way that I felt. So I felt like it was not them, it was me. I was looking for something that was going to push me to take my business to the next level. So that definitely is, now where we're at. Everybody's super motivated. Everybody's super happy. Everybody's in the office making the calls, talking to customers every day. So change is always good. There's nothing as bad change, Joanna. So now, what have you changed?
Well, that's exciting. What I have changed has been I started the team. I was waiting to stop, basically what I was waiting was to be ready to start the team. Yeah. And I realized that that's not going to happen. You're never going to be fully ready. Nope. You just have to take the step and you have to take the risk. So that's one of the things that have been a change. Now I don't have Lisa. Everyone knows that Lisa was part of my team. So Lisa went as a real estate full-time, which is like the best thing that can happen for her. So with that being said, then I started a new team with a new system. And like you said, change is always good. Evolving and changing the system is always something that it's going to be risky at first, but it's going to have the outcome. So that's one of the biggest changes that have happened throughout the season, starting their own team, starting a different system. And like you mentioned, you're now with working with Christian with your health. Yeah. So it's something I'm already implying with the balance that I always talk about balance. Yeah. And I always question people, especially that professionals, how do you find balance? Correct, a lot of people say there is no balance. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of like, there has to be some way of you taking care of yourself 100%. And then and bring in business while you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. There is a balance, but sometimes what happens is, so we as humans, we focus on one main thing, which is for you and I, it's our business, right? So we're so focused on our business that we leave all of the other 10 things that fuel us behind. So essentially what happens is now we start pushing our family aside, we start pushing our health aside, we start pushing our mental health. So at the end of the day, those are the things that are pushing us and our business to grow. But then since we're so focused on our business, we forget about the what feeds us. So, I think it's very important that when you find the balance, you know how to keep it, right? Correct. But if you don't know how to find the balance, you have to kind of start like slow and steady, right? Because a lot like that was my issue, right? Like so an example is when I used to go like to the gym, right? So when I first started, I would try to commit to 5 days a week, right? Mm-hmm. How was I going to commit to 5 days a week when I couldn't even commit to one, right? Mm-hmm. So now so my first week I started doing 3 days, right? So it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I did that for 3 weeks straight. So I had to be at the gym at 6:30. If not, I owned my mentor $50, right?
Well, that's a new change. Sorry to cut you off. That's a new change. You also have a mentor now, a mentor that's guiding you and helping you.
Correct.
And that's something that's been happening.
Yeah.
And that's why season 3 is more aligned to that. Season 3 is more aligned to finding that balance, that health that we're looking for, that mental health too. So season 3, we have a lot of guests. You're gonna, you already saw who it was. Correct. We already spoke about Christian and Linda, who's within the health. And then we had a guest like Amanda, Amanda Palmieri. She came in and spoke about how she does time for social media, how she does time for what she's doing. Yeah. So this is what season 3 is all about. Correct. Season 3 is all about like finding ourselves, finding more of like what is it our day to day, and then see how other professionals take this same industry and do it in their own way. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I agree again because it's so important because everybody has a different way of living. Everybody, we do different tasks every day. But at the end of the day, it's finding that main focus. It's like, okay, this is what I have to do every day. And something, we had a conversation the other day, and I remember, and I shared this with you because my mentor told me this. He's like, Kobe Bryant or any basketball player or anyone in the sport, before they play the actual game, they have a pregame. Or they do like a pre-workout before like they start getting warmed up, right?
That's right.
So in reality, that's what we have to do, right? So like once you start implementing things other professionals are doing, 90% of the things they do might not work for you, but maybe it's a good 10%. So the most important thing is that you actually take a little bit of it and put it into action.
Correct. Speaking of that warm-up brings us to the second guest, which is Matthew Algu. And Matthew Algu actually speaks about that, the warm-up. He says he needs to do the running. He has to go run. He has to get that warm-up of like his physical health is very important for him to be there in order to be that warm-up to get into getting his everyday, going into whatever he has to do, the city, the island and whatnot. So I think, again, it's really important that we focus on that formula could be for him, that formula could be for you, but everyone does something different. Definitely. So we also have we can speak a little bit more about Rhonda too.
So Rhonda, So Rhonda she was an amazing guest. With Rhonda, I think it was a little bit different because she's been in the business for so long that she has that balance right already. So she kind of like she figured it out. So Rhonda, I think her business is more of like how to help people who have like a bad credit or like in a bad financial situation. So if you're gonna give advice on that, you have to be good on your side. That's because it's I can't go talk to people about credit having a 600 credit score and telling them, hey, this is how you're gonna get an 800 credit score, or like I can't go talk to them about money if I'm broke and I only have $5, right? Yes. So I think her balance is a lot different than any other.
Like you mentioned, she's been in the business for a long time.
Correct.
And at the same time, when it comes to her personal life, her business partner is her life partner as well. So it kind of gives that balance. Like if they're not sharing time after hours, at least they're sharing time while they're making a difference for people's finances 100%. And people's work. So I think she definitely figured it out. She has the formula to find that balance and be able to help others.
Yeah, definitely. And I think our last guest was Peter Diaz. So Pete was actually one of the persons who motivated me to. So Pete and I actually met back in 2018, if I'm not incorrect. But he actually motivated me because I remember, and you remember as well, so we only used to work with a certain price point, right? Correct. And we were like stuck at that price point, like, oh my God, we need to help these people because they really need our help. But then unfortunately, not because of us, but because, people felt so entitled to, hey, like he has to help me. We kind of, got to a dead end. We were stressed. So Peter was somebody who kind of like just helped me get out of that dead end and said, hey, Luis, like you need to get out of that price point. And if you're curious of what the price point is, we were in like 300, 350, right? So if you're familiar with Long Island, the only place you could buy with $3.50, which was like about 2.5 years ago, was like Massac, Shirley, Massac Beach.
That's right.
Like, you know, so there's nothing wrong with those neighborhoods, but it was just, you know, most of these buyers needed, you know, 3 borrowers, or they needed certain things to qualify. So for me, Peter was somebody that said, Luis, you need to change your price point. You need to do it this way. And he was also somebody that said to me, Luis, listen, you need to find a mentor. I think one important thing that he did say on the podcast was, you know, the 10 years or the 15 years you did before getting into real estate prepares you to get into real estate.
Correct. And like you mentioned, you have to aim higher, and that's one thing that he spoke. Aim higher, and at the same time, what you did before has a lot to do what you do now that you're going to do whatever profession it is. So another thing, going back to what we focus season 3 a lot is, you know, balance and everything. He has a family. He has a family, he has beautiful daughters that he spoke about, and it seems like to him, he didn't find a balance until like the pandemic hit, where he says that it forced him to spend time with the family, with the kids, and now he realized, wait a minute, I can still do this if I build a team. If I have a team that can do a lot, you know, delegate a lot of work, then I can find. So his formula was a little different. His is like, I depend on a team. I need a team in order to delegate that work and find that balance with it. So it's very, again, this season 3 to me, it was very eye-opening. It was very like, if you haven't seen the episodes, they're not in the same order we're saying, second, third. But these people brought a lot of value, a lot of power to season 3.
100%.
And also, we spoke about, regardless of all of this, we're also committed to be able to help others and be able to give back. And that's where we have also Phoenix Prime that came in, and finally in season 3, we also have how we had the first charity event.
So, and I mean, we put, so if you don't know, you should know, right? Like, this is big because starting a nonprofit from zero, we didn't know what to do. This is probably one of the hardest things to do. Shout out to our accountant, Carlos, because he knows the regulations and everything to get it done. And he helped us big time because he told us, hey, this is the way to do it. It took us about 6 months, right, the time frame to get it done. But the most important thing, like, I don't think people realize it, and I am guilty of this. Like, I didn't realize how much work and how much time it takes to put an event together, right? So the craziest part about this is that Johana and I put this event off 3 days before, like, we even got to, like, there, like, and we didn't even, like, honestly, I think I was lost most of, like, 95% of the time. I'm like, I don't even know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna go on. The shirt, like, we had shirts. The shirts came out wrong. The night before. Shout out to the shirt guy, because I had to go look for a new printer. He printed like 70 shirts overnight. He had them ready for us in the morning. You went to go.
The trophies and everything, the medals. All of a sudden it was like, oh, we got 10 more. We got 15 more.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, last minute, I don't know if we can get you that going on, but Luis and I actually fought the most out of, we have more than 4 years working together. Those 3 days, we actually compromised and fought the most. Like, call each other's like, hey, get his approval and fight about it, and then he will have to compromise, or vice versa.
Yeah, definitely.
He'll have to call me, fight me, and then I will have to compromise. And I think at the end of the day, we both knew the vision was like, you know, forget this. It's the main goal, and we were able to collect a certain amount of money. That
I mean, say it, bro. We collected $6,000.
$6,000 and a little like 110.
Yeah, it was like $6,200.
And then we're taking the trip to Honduras. That hopefully by the time we release this video, you'll have some footage. We're taking a trip to Honduras. We're making it happen. We're hopefully, this is just the beginning. You know, it's just the start. Actually, not hopefully. This will be the beginning.
This is 100%.
And next time we won't plan this out in 3 days. And the reason why that happened, it wasn't because we were waiting. The reason was because we had the venue change, then the weather hit, and then it was gonna rain, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, we have to switch the whole thing around. A lot of people were signing up out of nowhere, last minute. We're promoting like crazy, and it happened. And we want to thank everyone too that was part of that, believed and supported in one way or another.
Yeah, 100%, and we can't wait to share with everyone. Like, you know, this is not for us. This is for all of us, because at the end of the day, one helping hand that we can help anywhere around the world is more important to us than a deal, a commission. And I always say this, Joanna can vouch for me. It's other people in other countries don't have the opportunities we have here in the U.S. And unfortunately, if you don't see it that way, you kind of have to open your eye, right?
That's right.
Because anybody can, and I'm saying anybody from another country can come into here and have the same opportunity Joanna and I do, but other people don't. Unfortunately, and we have, since we do have that opportunity, we have to share that with people. We have to, we can't be greedy about it, especially because those are our roots. So, like Joanna said, we appreciate everybody who came to the soccer tournament. We appreciate everybody's support from day one, even if you couldn't attend the event.
Correct. And that's what Phoenix is all about. That's what we started. Everyone, and we say, the future starts in you, because we know that Luis and I cannot make the difference for ourselves. Even though those 3 days, we also have people. And again, it's not because we were procrastinating. It was because so much happened within planning this event. And we had a lot of people behind scenes, like Catherine Rodriguez. We had so many people that were like there 24/7, no sleep, no nothing. Mm-hmm. And it also woke up a lot with the health. A lot of people were calling me, hey, I realized I can't run for 5 minutes, and so on. So,
that was honestly, that was my wake up call too, because it was I remember you said, Luis, hey, get in this game, and I'm like, all right, cool. Let me try this out. I used to run, I used to wrestle, I used to get in, I used to be in sports. But now, when I'm running up and down trying to chase Joanna with the ball, I'm like, yeah, this is not it. My back felt like I was carrying 300 pounds. So I'm like, if I feel like this right now, this is what's holding me back from doing more than I can. Right. So that's why I made the jump into hey, let me turn my life around. Let me get back on my healthy, diet. Let me focus on my health. And honestly, I can tell you, even at having a mentor, it's very important. That's one of the things that I'll go back to Pete. He said, just find a mentor, because sometimes it's not about the sales. It's not about you having all the information. It's about you having the right person guiding you. A mentor is just going to tell you, hey, look, they have the easy route now, because they already went through it, and they're pretty much like that GPS that you guides you. And it tells you, okay, you know what? There's a dip right here. Don't go there. Go this way. Right. If you're gonna fall into a rabbit hole right there, go this way. And honestly, for me, it's just been so productive. It's a big change. And
that's what, again, season 3 was mental, physical, and spiritual too.
Yeah, everything.
So
everything.
Spiritual, everything, all 3 in 1. And we want
even financial, literally everything you could think about. I think all of our guests had one special thing, and that's what makes it the Feeding Power podcast.
Yes, I don't have a favorite guest for this season. Everyone was great. Everyone brought something new, and thank you to all the guests in season 3. Hopefully, season 3 also brought so much knowledge for everyone else. So that's what it was. It was mental health, physical, everything, like you mentioned, finances, and we're more than excited to go to season 4. Hopefully, with new ideas and new projects.
Definitely. And if you have any ideas or any guests that you think will bring more and more value, put them on the comments below. Put them on. Just get them to us, and we'll bring them on so we can have more content for everybody.
Thank you again for your support all the time. Thank you to all the guests for season 3. What?
Don't forget about IG.
And
that could have been down there.
No, all right, so let me just say 2.
Then.
All right, the whole episode from the top.
All right. Yeah. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome back to Vietnam.
I'm kidding. And thank you, everyone, for all that support. Thank you for all the guests that were part of season 3. And remember to follow us at
Feeding Power Podcast. Also, make sure you follow us on every social media, because if you don't, you're whack. Sorry.
Let's redo that again. Go.
Wait, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
Just follow us.
Just follow
us. YouTube, follow our personal pages.
Yeah. All right, whatever.
Ready?
That's a little whack ending, not gonna lie.
Thank you, everyone, for the support. Thank you to all the guests that were part of season 3. Hopefully, this keeps bringing value and knowledge and power to all of you. And season 4 should be more ideas, more projects coming up. So make sure you follow us at
Feeding Power Podcast, and also make sure you subscribe, like all our videos, comment, and do everything you got to do.
And subscribe on YouTube, follow Instagram, and soon we're going to go back into the Spotify.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's
perfect.
Perfect.
There you go. You got that under